All right, so let's introduce the people. Who are you? What's your name?
Peace and Black African Power family. I'm the God Ali Dawoud, and we at BK Soul Farm. This is my farm. This is my house. This is where everything that matters is at. All right. What we got?
What exactly do you do here?
So we are poultry farmers. Is my primary hustle is what I'm gonna say, right? We do egg layers, we do meat birds. We dabble in aquaponics, which is fish farming, converting fish waste into food for plants, right? So we got a moringa tree growing over there, we got a mango tree growing in there. We just try to figure out different ways to farm, right? I'm originally from Brooklyn, and a lot of my family live in apartments. What you gonna do? You going to what?
Is that a cock or is that a?
Nah, this shit a hen.
That's
so
a hen.
And here's only one rooster in here. And what you say his name was? Cedric.
How many chickens do you have?
Total on the whole farm right now, I would say I have about 100. In here, we're looking at about 40, 35, 40. The meat birds inside the aquaponics, the little babies, it's about 2 weeks old. I have about 55 in there, and I have about another 10 to 15 in the big size, so it's about 100 total.
Can you explain the process that it takes to grow a chicken and then to have to go to a place like Popeyes?
So the process is easy, right? Like, this is what I tell everybody. I think everybody that eats eggs every family should have at least 2 chickens per household. It gives you eggs every single day. You can feed it grass, feed it bird food, feed it leftover food from your refrigerator. It doesn't take a lot, right? You know exactly what that bird is eating. The chickens at Popeyes, you have no idea what those birds are eating, right? And the food that those birds eat, that's what you want to stay away from, right? So even though I have the same, what we call meat birds, that they sell in the grocery stores, that they sell at Popeyes, KFCs, and whatnot, my birds take 6 to 7 weeks to grow. Theirs take 6 to 7 weeks to grow. The difference is the feed, right? I have no Monsanto, nothing, right? I have no GMO feed of any kind. Everything is stuff that I eat myself, right? Or stuff that I would eat myself, right? They get a lot of papayas from my trees. You've seen, I got a lot of stuff growing around here, so that's what they eat. So it's a healthier, cleaner food product, right?
Okay. So chickens that they produce in the grocery store and their Popeyes, they are filled with a lot of
GMOs, right? So GMOs is one of those terms that not too many people are really familiar with, right? And it's the easiest thing for me to say is it's filled with a bunch of unknowns, right? So anybody's farm could put on a package, farm raised, pasteurized, it can be organic. Those words don't necessarily mean non-GMO per se, right? Because pasteurized on grass, that's GMO, means that your chicken is eating GMO grass, right? So you're still getting GMO. This process is strictly natural, organic, again, no pesticides. So I got plenty of bugs, ants, mosquitoes, flies. I got plenty of stuff, and we try to fight it, but it's just a different process, right? A lot cleaner meat. My birds don't have any fat on them. So if I was to pull out one of my meat birds out of the freezer, and we'll go to Publix and I'll show you one to compare, those birds would be a much fattier bird because they sit in one spot and collect fat. My birds run around, jump, fly their wings, like all this space in here, like they're athletes. So it's just like a better quality of food.
And what inspired you to do this? You said you are originally from Brooklyn, right?
Yeah, so growing up around the guys and nerds, growing up around Nation of Islam, I grew up in a Baptist church, so I grew up with a lot of knowledge and information from a lot of different sources. I joined the Navy and actually left home when I was 17 years old, and I literally went around the world, right? And when I went around the world, I went with a book in my hand from the Browder Files by Anthony T. Browder, and I'm literally going to the places that he's describing in this book. As I'm discovering all these things, I start figuring out all the things that I'm missing and I'm lacking. Not just me, but like all of us as a society in general, but more especially me, because that's what I care about, right? I get into the workforce. I'm in the hustle and bustle. I'm hating life. I'm driving home one day and I listen to NPR, and they have an episode where they say 120 square foot garden could feed a family of 4 for a year. That sounded very intriguing, so I looked it up. I started trying to figure out like where could I put a 10 by 12 space at. Like everybody got 10 by 12 space. Like you have a wall, you have plenty of backyard. Like everybody can do this. So my brain just started working, trying to figure out like how can I do this. I found out that they doing aquaponics, or what looks like aquaponics, in Kemet on the walls, right? It looks like they're using fish to fertilize their plants that they got growing around. And I'm finding out these things as I'm discovering all this stuff about planting, and I'm like, oh, I can do this stuff. And if I can do this stuff, then everybody else can do it too. So it's just a matter of getting folks out there with the information and showing you, right? So I started developing a bunch of different growing methods. So before I even got to birds, I was just trying to figure out how I can just grow, right? So I would grow in buckets. Last year, I grew a 19-pound watermelon out of a cinder block, right? Like just trying to take away any excuses or trying to, look, man, food, clothing, shelter, and the protection of that. Like those are our responsibilities, not as black people, but as human beings, right? If you want to survive from now to the next day, you actually got to sustain yourself, right? You got to give your body energy, and having a job doesn't do that, right? Having a job doesn't mean that you can take care of a bird, right? That you can grow your own food, right? If you lose your job, you lose your money, you can't go grocery shopping, right? So I'm trying to figure out ways to mitigate those things so I can reduce my PTSD, my post-traumatic slave syndrome, right? Because we wigging out here in the streets. You know?
So tell me this, is it hard being a black farmer?
I think it's hard being a black anything. But being a black farmer, like I'm gonna say farming is not difficult. It's just a matter of what do you want to do, right? Researching the steps necessary to do those things, assessing your skills and capabilities, deciding if you're willing to do those things, and if you are, apply it, right? And farming is one of those things where you just got to do it, right? There's no, I can't tell you if you use this soil, this will happen. Because you live in Milwaukee, right? Like the environment might treat that dirt different up there, right? Like, so that's not fair to say. So it's better to say, you know what? Figure out what's growing up there and just grow whatever, right? But it's not hard. The hardest thing is people don't trust black faces, right? We still caught up on that whole. People ask me, so what are you going to do when your chickens get sick? People ask me, so what are you going to feed your chickens? People ask me all these questions about things that they never ask the grocery store. They never ask the restaurant. They go to Popeyes and Hooks and all these places, and they just accept the poison. But when it comes to black people, we assume that we're going to be taking advantage of each other, right? So we suspect and skeptical. Right, so we got to get over that hurdle. But once we do, it's like, it's love, right? Because once people take the chance and try my eggs, and I'm like, why you got to try my eggs? Like, they eggs. They ask me questions like, so what does your eggs taste like? I'm like, dog, like they eggs. They taste like eggs. Like they. So that's difficult, right? But that's the black face. That's the Hells of North America bullshit, right? Like that's. I apologize.
I'm sorry.
That's what that is. But business is business, man. And what I find is, if you are producing things that people need and want, like it kind of sells itself, right? Like I don't know.
Yeah, it makes sense. Tell me this. I know we spoke earlier. We talked about a food shortage.
Yeah.
Do you believe that a food shortage is coming? And if it does come, how do you think it's going to be?
So I got a funny thing about belief. I only believe in one thing, and that is in my own potential. Right? I have the potential to be my very best or my absolute worst. However, I accept that the information is out there. People get scared, and when people hear that information, the masses react accordingly. So, real or not real, you have to plan accordingly, right? So, grow your own food. That's why I got chickens, right? And we got guns. So anybody think they gonna come here and be like, oh, Peter Soften with the birds? Yeah, I got birds. Right? Like, because again, right? Because you gotta have food, clothing, shelter, and the protection of that, right? So these chickens is mine. But if you pull out on me right now, they're yours, right? And so yeah, I accept the narrative that they say out there. I accept that 85% of the people are not researching, are just listening and believing, right? I accept that I don't trust anybody, right? So I care about this house, I care about these people, I care about that stuff. Food shortages, I got food. I got 3 LifeStraws. Yo, every black family, get on Amazon or wherever and get you a LifeStraw. It's a water filtration device. I say get the family pack, right? Because it's like basically you take the canal water, you dump it in there, it filters out clean, drinkable water. It has a 10-year shelf life, right? But once you open it up and use it, it lasts for 2 years. Anybody worried about food shortages, anybody worried about pollution or whatever, like my thing is if you worried about something, be worried about it enough to do something about it or shut up. Right? Like I don't want to talk about nothing that I can't do. I don't want to talk about nothing that's gonna make me scared. Right? I ain't got time for none of that. My son just had a son. I'm a grandfather now. My future is today. Right? And everything I'm doing is for this young man now. And his. So I don't do pie in the skies, I don't do conspiracy, none of that stuff. If Donald Trump get up there right now and say meat shortage, I'm like, yo, I got birds for $25. I'll let your boy. That's what I'm saying. Right? That's what I'm saying. I'm saying that because this is my backyard, right? But I just closed last week on a acre of land up north, and I'm putting some serious birds. Like this is like a real thing, right? So I don't think about none of that stuff. They say meat shortage, I provide meat.
That makes sense. Can you hatch an egg that you get from the grocery store?
No.
Why not?
2 reasons, right? So firstly, so you asked me earlier how long could the eggs last, right? So if I take that egg that's hatched right there, that's laid right there, and I put it on the counter, if I don't wash it, don't clean it, don't do nothing to it, that egg is good for 30 days before I have to put it in the refrigerator. The moment I wash it, right, put soap on it and water to clean off all the germs and bacteria on the outside of the shell, I now degrade that, and now I'm looking at down to 2 weeks, maybe a week and a half. The eggs in the grocery store, they go through a sophisticated process of cleaning. So those eggs got to go in the refrigerator right away because the layer of calcium has been washed off because of the cleaning. So it's not sustainable for nothing but. So not only is it not fertilized, but it's too cold, too all that. Like it's just yeah.
Is the farming industry, is it profitable?
Yeah. So it depends how you do it, right? Like with anything, you got to manage expectations. So people eat eggs, people eat chickens, so naturally there's money to be made. However, if you get too big for your britches or you move too fast, you might make your operation too big before you have enough customer base, right? Because people ask me like, so what are you going to do if you have an excess of eggs? I said, I don't understand the question, right? Because I have enough eggs for my clientele, right? I've thought about people losing jobs and I'm not going to put myself in a trick bag to where I'm now trapped up and caught. So you just got to be mindful, but it's absolutely profitable. Eggs way more so than meat, even though there's a faster turnaround with meat birds. Until I start hatching them for myself and creating my own meat birds, it'll really be profitable. But right now, eggs is where it's at. I mean, it's money to be made. Like it costs $3 to buy a chicken.
$3 to buy one chicken.
A day-old chick costs $3. Like so. Yeah, I don't know how much game you want me to give out, but
hey, whatever for the people. Like, I know if somebody's interested in being a farmer, if they wanted to know.
It's simple, man. You go if you go to the feed store, you go to any hatchery on the websites. It costs $3 to get a chicken. A 50-pound bag of feed costs $20. Right? That's expensive. Right? So you can get a $10 bag. I'm talking about still no corn, no soy, just regular grains and oats, right? $20, and that's 50 pounds. It's not expensive, it's not hard. If it wasn't profitable, I promise you I wouldn't be doing it. If it wasn't profitable, I would only have enough animals for my family and my friends. If it wasn't profitable, I wouldn't have bought land, right? Like this time next year, I absolutely plan on not being at my job no more. Like I want to be able to hang all this stuff up and be free, right? Like I don't want to clock in, check in. I don't have to go to no dumb meetings about stuff I don't care about when everything I care about is here. Yeah. Right? Like I care about this, right? Like I think this is fire. Like born the boss. And
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like I care about this. Like all the other stuff, like, making somebody else wealthy. I ain't really into that.
Exactly.
So real rap, my math right now, which what got me excited, said that 2,000 chickens, you're looking at about $13,000 a month at selling your eggs at $4 a dozen. Right? Mind you, half that is chicken feed. So you're looking at about $7,000 a month profit. Right? Like I like that, I can live off that. Like that's enough for me and my family and to take care of my house and to do whatever you gotta do, right? The more birds you have, the more profitable it is. Like the math just gets better. But so I've been doing this farming thing for about 4 years. I've been doing chickens for about a year and a half, 2. The way this started for me was I took some eggs to my coworker with my homeboys at work, and he left them at work for about 3 days. He left them on top of his locker, and when I came back to work, I had about 10 customers that wanted eggs from me. I was not planning on selling any eggs. I didn't even think. I was just giving them to my mans, right? And he left them there people saw them and they was like, yo, you got blue eggs, green eggs, brown eggs. I ain't never seen this. I'm so intrigued. Oh my God. You from Brooklyn? How you know how to do this stuff? I'm like, yo, I'm learning right now. Right? Like you watching me bloom right now, right? So if you down, and that's what forced me to get my property, right? So it's profitable. Everybody I watch to get my information from, Uganda, Ghana, Nigeria, right? Like these is places where the average American would be like, you know, they like third world or whatever, right? And I'm saying to myself, if on the motherland they can get busy doing chickens and this cat told me he a doctor. He come to his farm twice a week on the weekends and he got it popping. I'm like, I kind of think I could do it too, right? It's supposed to be America, right? You know, land of milk and honey, opportunity, all that bullshit, right? So saying that to say like it's profitable, right? It's money to be made. You just gotta be willing to hustle. The fees and paperwork ain't really much. Just in my backyard, right? Like when you airing this?
Put it on YouTube, whatever other platform.
When? Like
late September, early October.
All right. By then I'll be legal. So all this, these birds in my backyard right now, all illegal, right? This has all been a practice. Is it worth doing? Can I do it? I don't know. Like I heard it on NPR. They said I can do it. They said it's doable. Let me find out. And now that I've proven to myself and to the universe that I can do it, it's time to take it to the next level and actually try to get in public, right? But that's not even my market. Like my marketing strategy is if I can not leave my block, you know, if I can take care of everybody on my block, that's, you know, that's how we get these communities, right?
What's your support system like?
My support system is good. Like my wife and I have been married going on 24 years. We homeschool, so my son is always home. Like my mother and father, everybody's around and alive. They all in New York, but I get a lot of love, man. Like support as far as doing this actual work, I don't get that much love, right? I do a lot of chicken stuff myself, but as far as support, and like, you know, like we proud of you and keep going, you're doing the right thing. I like this idea. Hey, would you consider this? I get a lot of that. I get a lot of love. A lot of people absolutely want to see this work, right? They want to see bosses be born and win, right? And not just from the other persuasion, right? They want to see us do it. So I feel like I got a good support system, and it could be better, but I just be complaining at that point. This is what I do know, right? I'm from Brooklyn, New York. If I take Brooklyn, New York, any place else besides Brooklyn is not gonna work. Right? I cannot do in Uganda and Zimbabwe what I did growing up in Brooklyn. I can't even think like that over there because it's not the same, right? Like, yo, I don't have this should thought process, right? I don't have this is what we should be doing, because I'm saying we all confused. Everybody done drank the Kool-Aid. Everybody watching the same TV channels. Everybody listening to the same music. Everybody is mixed up the same. So it kind of really don't matter where you at. Again, food, clothing, shelter, and the protection of that. Every man got that responsibility. Every woman got that responsibility. And if you focus on that, I'm saying it don't matter where you at. That's all you got to do. All right, like, so I don't know if I answered your question. No, I'm saying like I don't do like that spirituality, religious stuff. I am God. you got like these trees got like if like every spirituality say God is everything. So if you believe any of them, then they all right. Then ain't none of it wrong. Then you can just do what you want to do, and you're not making no mistakes.
Okay. Okay. Now, how can somebody get in contact with you if they have any questions or if they want to do business with you? How can somebody reach you?
You can hit me up on BK Soul Farm on Facebook, Instagram. That's literally BK Soul Farm. That's Bravo, Kilo, Sierra, Oscar, Lima, Foxtrot, Alpha, Romeo, Mike. Alright, can't help it when I spell stuff. The Navy, right? I was a kid when I joined, so some things stick. But BK Soul Farm on everything. You can hit me up at Ali Dawoud L. At everything, or you can send me a text message, right? 954-663-0413. Right? Text me, don't call me. I don't answer. But hit me up, right? And we can build, and I'll tell you whatever I know, man, and it's gonna always be honest, and it's never gonna be. It's only gonna be what I know. Right?
And is there any messages you want to tell the people? Is there any?
Yo, I'm saying, be scared. I'm saying, say you scared. I'm saying, be tired. I'm saying, say you tired. I'm saying, be frustrated. I'm saying, say you frustrated. I'm saying, so what? I'm saying, get busy, right? I'm saying, whatever's in your face, unless it's laying you down, move it out the way, right? Knock it down, dig it out, blow it up, do whatever you gotta do. Can't nobody stop you but you. Ain't no white man stop you no more. Like them days is over. Like stop being scared of the dark. Like get busy, right? Like you ain't got time for that no more. Like it's simple, man. Like you just do it. You just gotta work.
All right.
That's what I got.
Hey, yeah.